In today's digital age, anonymity on the internet is a double-edged sword. It allows people to express opinions freely, protects whistleblowers, and enables activism in oppressive regimes. But on the other hand, it can also be a tool for cybercriminals, fraudsters, and unethical activities. Should online anonymity be protected or restricted? Let's explore both sides of this controversial issue. A crucial role throughout history, particularly in shaping democratic movements. During the American Revolution, patriots relied on anonymous pamphlets and writings to challenge British rule and inspire resistance. Figures like Thomas Paine, who initially published Common Sense anonymously, used this approach to voice radical ideas without fear of immediate retribution. One of the most significant early cases of anonymous political expression was that of John Peter Zenger, a printer in colonial America. In 1734, Zenger was arrested and prosecuted for publishing articles critical of the British-appointed governor of New York. He refused to disclose the authors of these writings, standing firm in his commitment to press freedom. His trial became a landmark case, as his acquittal set a precedent for freedom of the press and the right to criticize the government without facing unjust persecution. This historical foundation continues to influence modern debates on anonymous speech, whistleblowing, and online activism. In an era where digital platforms allow for anonymous discourse, the principles established by early anonymous writers remain vital in protecting free expression and holding power to account. But how do people stay anonymous online? Let's break it down. Anonymous remailers, these remove identifying information from emails before forwarding them. VPNs, virtual private networks, encrypt internet traffic and hide IP addresses. Tor browser routes traffic through multiple servers, making users harder to trace. Pseudonyms and fake accounts. Many users create fake identities to remain anonymous. While these tools can be used for privacy and protection, they can also be exploited for illegal activities. Anonymity on the internet is a double-edged sword. It allows people to speak freely, protect their identities, and engage in discussions without fear. But it also enables some of the most harmful behaviors online. Misinformation spreads unchecked. Cybercriminals operate in the shadows. Harassment becomes easier, and accountability becomes almost non-existent. One of the biggest dangers of online anonymity is doxing, the act of publicly exposing someone's personal information, such as their address, phone number, or workplace, often with the intent to harass or threaten them. This malicious practice can lead to serious consequences, including stalking, threats, job loss, and emotional distress. Cybercriminals, trolls, and even regular internet users can exploit publicly available data, social media, and data breaches to target individuals. While doxing is illegal in many cases, enforcement remains challenging, making prevention crucial. Protecting against doxing requires strong privacy settings, limiting personal information shared online, and being cautious about digital interactions. In 2015, an American dentist sparked outrage after hunting and killing a famous lion named Cecil in Zimbabwe. The internet quickly turned against him. Soon, his personal information, home address, phone number, workplace was exposed online. People flooded his business with negative reviews. Protesters gathered outside his clinic. Death threats followed. This raises a difficult question: is doxing a form of accountability? Or is it just online mob justice? While some saw it as justified, others argued that it was an invasion of privacy that put him and his family in danger. And what happens when the wrong person gets doxed? False accusations have led to innocent people being harassed and even losing their jobs. As doxing becomes more common, The ethical debate intensifies. Should there be stronger laws against it? Or does the right to expose wrongdoing outweigh the right to privacy? Doxing is just one example of how anonymity can be misused. In the hidden corners of the internet, criminals thrive under the cloak of invisibility. The dark web, a part of the internet not indexed by search engines, is home to cybercriminals, hackers, and black market dealers. One of the most notorious examples is Silk Road, an underground marketplace that operated on the dark web. It allowed users to buy and sell illegal goods, mostly drugs, using Bitcoin to stay anonymous. For years, law enforcement struggled to track the criminals behind it. When the FBI finally shut it down in 2013, over $1 billion worth of transactions had taken place. Cybercrime is a global industry worth billions of dollars. Hackers use anonymous accounts and encrypted communication to carry out attacks, stealing sensitive data, blackmailing companies, and even shutting down entire governments. Take the WannaCry ransomware attack of 2017. It affected over 200,000 computers worldwide, crippling hospitals, banks, and businesses. The hackers behind it used anonymous networks to evade capture. Even today, many remain unidentified. This is the challenge. How do we stop cybercriminals while still protecting online privacy? The debate over internet anonymity is a conflict between privacy and security, with strong arguments on both sides. Anonymity safeguards free speech, protects whistleblowers, and allows individuals to express themselves without fear, especially in oppressive environments. However, it also enables cybercriminals, hackers, and illegal activities on the dark web. Governments argue that some level of oversight is necessary to prevent crime and protect national security, while privacy advocates warn that excessive surveillance could lead to censorship and loss of personal freedoms. The challenge lies in finding a balance, ensuring online safety without compromising fundamental rights to privacy and free expression. For many, anonymity is a necessity, not a luxury. It allows journalists to report on corruption without fear of retaliation. It protects whistleblowers who expose illegal activities. It shields activists in oppressive regimes, where speaking out could lead to imprisonment or worse. Even in democratic countries, people rely on anonymity to discuss sensitive topics like mental health, abuse, and personal struggles without fear of stigma. But anonymity also enables some of the worst behaviors online. Trolls, cyberbullies, and scammers thrive in an environment where they can act without consequences. Deepfake technology, for example, is being used to create fake videos that impersonate people, spreading misinformation and ruining reputations. Without accountability, how do we stop this? Some argue that stricter regulations, such as requiring identification for online activities, could reduce crime. But does that come at the cost of privacy? The debate continues. Should we prioritize security and accountability? Or is online privacy a fundamental right that must be preserved? No matter where you stand on the issue, one thing is clear: protecting yourself online is more important than ever. Here are some ways to stay safe in a digital world where anonymity is both a shield and a weapon. Tips 1. Use strong passwords and enable two-factor authentication. A weak password makes you an easy target. Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security. Tips 2. Be mindful of what you share online even when anonymous. Anonymity does not mean immunity. Anything you post can be traced, screenshotted, or misused. Tips 3. Use VPNs and encrypted messaging apps for secure communication. VPNs virtual private networks help hide your location and encrypt your internet traffic. Tips 4. Avoid phishing scams and suspicious websites. Hackers often trick people into revealing personal information through fake emails and websites. Tips 5. Think before you act. Anonymous actions still have consequences. Anonymity may protect your identity, but it doesn't erase responsibility. At the end of the day, anonymity is a tool. It can be used for good or for harm. The question remains, should we protect it at all costs? Or do we need stronger regulations to prevent its misuse?